The creative process is a series of steps that'll help take a project idea and take it to the next level to make sure it turns out well. The first stage is preparation. You're given a project in its most basic form. For example, you might be told to create a coffee mug and a drink coaster. However, it's up to you to prepare to give that mug depth, meaning, and a personal touch. So in the prepare stage, you might think of what interests you or who you intend to give the mug and coaster to. Maybe what would interest that person or the type of person you're going for. So for example, if you want to give the mug to your mom, you might think about what she tends to drink. Is it tea, coffee, hot chocolate, anything like that? Because these things will determine the size of the mug or even the look of it. Then you might think about what she likes. Does she like reading? Does she like the beach? Song lyrics, colors, abstract looking things? Because all of this information will help guide you in determining the look of the mug. This is the preparation stage, and answering all of these questions is what's important. The next stage is gathering. Once you determine your answers from the first stage, you start gathering images and information that reflects those answers. For example, if you decide you want your mug to look like a coral reef because your mom loves that, then you would look up images of coral reefs, including types of coral, sea creatures, and life that lives in a coral reef. Collecting these images helps you have them in front of you when you're creating your work. The third stage of the creative process is making connections. Now that you have your images and ideas, how will you add these elements into your work? So you sketch out your ideas as well as you can so you know exactly what you want to create and how you will create it. You're making connections between the information and the images you've gathered and the physical part of creating it. While you sketch out your idea, if you run into a point where you don't know how you would physically make something, then you go back to the gathering stage to find information on how you would create what you want to create. So for example, if you want to put 3D coral on the outside of your mug but don't know how you would create a coil of clay and add it to the outside of your mug, then you would look up that information online and gather that information. The final stage is creating and reviewing. Now that you've gathered and determined all necessary information, you're ready to begin the physical act of creating your work. What does all of this say to you? It should say, thinking about your project, sketching your idea out, and gathering the proper information should take far longer than actually creating the work itself. Not all artists create things this way, but it's the best way to begin learning how to actually be creative.